Good evening, students. Hope you all are doing well. So, this is a new class, and we are running with our second chapter, electrostatics, potential and capacitance. So, in the last class, we have discussed about dielectrics, conductors or insulators, and behavior of dielectrics. So, in today's class, also, we'll just continue with the same thing for a while to make you know that you must be remembered that in the last class I have told you that whenever a dielectric is placed in any electric medium, then it induces an electric field inside it due to polarization of charges, and that electric field which get induced just reduces the value of the applied electric field or the original electric field in which it has placed. Correct? But how it reduces its value? Okay, so let's have a look. So now, as you can see, I have considered a dielectric material having, since it is inside a electric field, the dielectric molecules, polar molecules or non-polar molecules, all are having charges aligned along the directions of the applied electric field. This is negative charge, this is positive, this is negative charge, this is again positive charge, this is negative, this is positive, so on. Okay, so now for the thing is, whenever they get separated, they will create dipole moment will be produced. In that thing, what will happen? Now see, here is a negative charge, here is a positive charge. So since they are lying very close to each other, they cancel each other. Okay. Now same thing happened for these three cases. Same happened for this. So what happening is, by the cancellations of positive and negative charges lying very close to each other, at some time we will get another picture of such a clear picture that we can see like this. We will have, now see here, since all the positive and negative charges have been cancelled, at the edges we are getting a net negative charges and we are getting a net amount of positive charges. So this positive charges and these negative charges will induce an electric field. This is the polarized dielectric now. Okay, and this polarized dielectric will induce an electric field inside the dielectric in the opposite directions of the applied electric field, because at this surface we are having surface charge density of plus charges, and in this phase we are having surface charge density of negative charges. So the electric field inside the dielectric is opposite to the direction of applied electric field. Now suppose this is, I can write it at EP. Okay, polarized electric field. Okay, so now if someone asks what is the electric field inside a dielectric, I can write over here E is equal to E0 vector minus EP vector. Getting my point? Because this field is much more less than the applied electric field because it is having less number of charges. Getting my point? So this is how we can say that the electric field inside a dielectric get reduced. I mean the net electric field, because of the presence of a dielectric get reduced. Okay, this much. So now we will move on to the second part, that is the capacitance. Okay, we can say capacitance or capacitor. So first we will discuss about a capacitor, then we will go to the capacitance. Okay, now see, what is a capacitor? By the name we can suggest that capacitor means which is something having some capacity, right? So capacitor, we can say it is nothing but, it is an arrangement. It is nothing but an arrangement. Arrangement of what? Arrangement of conductors which are separated by any insulating medium. Getting my point? So arrangement of conductors, these are all conductors. Okay, arrangement of conductors separated by insulating medium, or we can write insulator. Clear everyone? Now suppose this conductor, let it be C1 conductor, let it be C2 conductor. Now this is having charges plus Q and this has charges minus Q. Potential is V1, potential is V2. So now we can say this construction or this arrangement has charge Q and a potential difference between the conductors is V1 minus V2. So this kind of arrangement is combinedly known as a capacitor. So we can say the capacitor is an arrangement of two conductors separated by an insulating medium. Okay. So the thing is, this potential, such kind of arrangement for a mathematical sense, we can say the such kind of arrangement for a capacitor. Now what is capacitance? Okay, we'll go to it a little bit later. So now the thing is, now see, this is the construction. If someone asks what is the charge of the capacitor, we will say charge of the capacitor is Q. And why it is plus and why it is negative? Because they will be connected to a battery of a circuit, right? And whenever they will connect, since it is connected to positive terminal, it will be get positively charged, and since it is connected to negative terminal, it will be get negatively charged. Clear my point? But now, how we will denote or represent a capacitor in an electrical circuit? If the capacitance of the capacitor is constant, okay, fixed value of, we can say fixed value of capacitance is there, then the symbol of capacitor will be two parallel lines. Okay, but if the capacitance is variable, then the symbol will be same but with an arrow mark. That means the capacitance may vary. Okay, clear? But see, the total charge of the capacitor is 0 because it is plus Q, it is minus Q. Total charge means the total sum, superposition principle we have to apply. Okay, so in that case, charge of capacitor is Q, but total charge of capacitor is minus Q. Now see, coming to capacitance, for a given capacitor, the charge Q, the charge Q on the capacitor must be proportional to the potential difference between the two conductors, right? So I can write Q equal to some proportionality constant times V, or I can write the proportionality constant is equal to Q upon V. Getting my point? This proportionality constant is nothing but our capacitance. So in mathematical term, we can define capacitance is the ratio of charge on either of the conductor to the potential difference between the conductor. Charge on either conductor to the potential difference between the conductor. Okay. Or in qualitative manner, we can define capacitance is equal to the amount of charge required or supplied to either of the conductors of the capacitor so as to increase the potential difference V by unit amount. Getting my point? The amount of charge supplied or required to change or increase the potential difference of the medium between the conductors by 1 unit or unit amount. Clear? This is the capacitance. So basically we can say capacitor is an instrument or is an arrangement which has the capacity or which has the caliber to hold charges. That is the main thing. Okay, getting my point? Capacitance is the basically term for holding charges. Okay, now the thing is, since capacitance is equal to Q upon V, the capacitance doesn't depend on the nature of the medium or nature of the conductor. It's just depend on the shape and size of the conductor, not on the material. Shape and size of the conductor, and also the surrounding medium in which it is placed. And also the dielectric medium in between the two conductors. Okay, also depends on the dielectric medium between the conductors. And also the fourth thing, if there are some other conductors nearby, So we can say conductors in the neighborhood or neighboring conductors, we can say. Okay, so capacitance of a capacitor depends on these things: shape and size of the conductor, nature of the medium in which it is placed, or the dielectric medium. These are the same thing. Okay, and now last but not the least, conductors or the neighboring conductors surrounding the capacitor arrangement. Okay, clear everyone? Now coming to the unit of capacitance, it is defined as 1 farad. So by this thing you can say that 1 farad is nothing but 1 coulomb upon 1 volt. Okay, getting my point? So this is the unit of capacitance. Now see, if the value of Q remains constant, value of Q remains constant, then we can say for large value of C, the potential has to be small. If C has to be large, potential has to be small. That means this is the practical importance or physical significance of capacitance, that a capacitor with large capacitance can hold large amount of charge at a very small potential difference. Getting my point? Capacitance can hold a large amount of charge at a very small potential difference. Okay. Now that means if high potential difference is there, that means we are getting a strong electric field around the conductors. Okay, but if you are getting strong electric field, then we also are having disadvantage, we can say, because the maximum electric field that a dielectric can withstand without breakdown is called dielectric strength. Getting my point? Dielectric strength is the maximum electric field a dielectric medium can withstand without breakdown. Now what is dielectric breakdown? See, suppose we are placing a dielectric in an electric medium, as we have done in this case. So what will happen? The outermost electrons of the dielectric, since we are placing the dielectric in a very strong electric field, so that electric field will cause the electrons which are loosely bound to move away from their parent atoms. If they'll move away, then the dielectric will simply behave as a conductor. Getting my point? Dielectric will behave as a conductor. That means its insulating property is getting getting lost. That is called dielectric breakdown. Getting my point? So dielectric breakdown, to withstand this dielectric breakdown, is called dielectric strength. So for if you're putting air medium in between two conductors, that means for the dielectric medium air, the dielectric strength is given by 3 into 10 to the power 6 volt per meter. Getting my point? There are two things I am discussing: dielectric strength and dielectric breakdown. Dielectric breakdown is whenever we are placing a dielectric in a strong electric field, the dielectric starts behaving as a conductor, and that when it loses its dielectric properties, it is called dielectric breakdown. Okay, and the maximum electric up to which the dielectric can withstand its dielectric property is known as dielectric strength. Clear? So the next thing is we will discuss about a kind of capacitor, that is the parallel plate capacitor. Now how it is? See, suppose we are having two conducting plates. Okay, these are two conducting plates separated by an insulating medium. Okay, then it will be not a capacitor, right? Suppose this is the first plate, this is the second plate. It has positive charges on it, and the other plate has negative charges on it. Okay, so we can say this has positive surface charge density and this have negative surface charge density. Okay, so what we will do, we will calculate the capacitance of such an arrangement. Okay, suppose the separation between the two plates is D. Okay, and each plate has an area of cross section A such that D is very less than A. Okay, getting my point? So now what we will do, we will first calculate the electric field at different regions because of two conductors. Then we will calculate the potential because there is a relation between electric field and potential difference. Then by using this potential difference, we will just calculate our capacitance. Okay, the first thing is we will calculate the electric field. Suppose this is region 1, this is region 2, and this is region 3. So now in region 1, this is region 1. For region 1, what is the electric field? Okay. Now see, these are parallel plates, or we can say a flat plate for an infinite plane sheet of conductor. Okay. We have already calculated the electric field, which is nothing but sigma by 2 epsilon 0, where sigma is the surface charge density on the plane sheet. Okay, clear? So we're gonna use that formula only. Now see, in this place, in the region 1, excuse me, yes, in the region 1, suppose here I want to calculate the electric field at this point. For the first plate, the electric field will be in this direction, right? Yes or no? Because it is positively charged, so electric field will be away from it. And for the second plate, the electric field will be in this direction. Because it is negatively charged, the electric field will be towards it. Okay, so the net electric field at this point in region 1 will be E1 minus E2, which are equally charged and having equal surface charge density. I can write sigma by 2 epsilon 0 minus sigma by 2 epsilon 0 is equal to 0. Clear? Now coming to region 2. What will happen in region 2? See, in this region, for first plate, the electric field will be in this direction. Yes or no? Because first plate is positively charged, the direction of electric field will be away from it. For the second plate, the direction of electric field will be also in this direction, which is negatively charged, and the electric field will be towards it, right? So what is happening is, we can write E1 plus E2, that is sigma upon 2 epsilon 0 plus sigma upon 2 epsilon 0, that is equal to sigma by epsilon 0. Okay. Now coming to third region, see, you can just see, for third region also we'll get the same result as in first case, because for the first plate, the direction of electric field will be in this direction, and the second plate, the direction of electric field will be in this direction. That means again we are getting E1 minus E2, so the electric field will also be 0. Okay, so now we got the total electric field for this parallel plate combination of capacitor. So now if the electric field is this much, what about the potential? We know that electric field is negative of potential gradient, right? And this negative sign stands for that electric field is in the direction of decrease of potential along which it is steepest. But if you consider the magnitude of electric field only, then I can write E is equal to just potential by distance, that is V upon distance, and here the distance is D, right, for the magnitude case. So now, so potential will be given by E into D, and we have already calculated E as sigma by epsilon 0, so potential comes out as sigma D by epsilon 0. Getting my point? Now we know the value of potential. By definition, we know that capacitance is equal to Q upon V. Okay, and Q is nothing but if the density, surface charge density is sigma, having equal amount of charges, then we can write Q is equal to sigma A divided by potential, that is sigma D upon epsilon 0. So which is nothing but I can write over here, or C is equal to epsilon 0 A upon D. Clear? Getting my point? This is the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor when the separating medium between the two plates or the two conductors is vacuum or air. Clear everyone? Okay. So now we will do another thing. We'll also discuss the parallel plate capacitor, but we will replace this vacuum by a dielectric medium which completely fills this space. Okay, now this vacuum will be covered by a dielectric medium. Then what will happen to the capacitance? Will it be changed or will it remain same? Let's see. So parallel plate capacitor with dielectric between them, then what will happen to the capacitance? The same thing we'll consider. We are having two parallel plates having cross-sectional area A, having positive charge density over here, negative charge density over here, but here the change is this place is completely filled or completely getting occupied by a dielectric medium. Okay, getting my point? So here we are having the positive charges, here we are having the negative charges. So when the dielectric is placed, as we have discussed in the first case of this class, the dielectric will get polarized. So for this polarization, here at this end we will get a net negative charge, at this end we will get a net positive charge. Yes or no? Yes. So what will happen? We can say it has sigma charge density, the two plates having sigma charge density, and now the charge density is of this dielectric plate be sigma p. Sigma p is a polarized charge density. Then the net charge density of the dielectric will be sigma minus sigma p. Yes or no? Because total charge density was sigma earlier when it was not there. When it is placed, it get polarized, so it is getting polarization charge density, that is sigma p. So the electric field in the dielectric, the corresponds to the when the net surface charge density on the plates is sigma minus sigma p. Okay, so the electric field will be given by sigma minus sigma p upon epsilon 0 for this dielectric. Yes or no? Because E for a infinite plate sheet is sigma by epsilon 0, but if the surface charge density is changing to sigma minus sigma p, then that will be sigma minus sigma p by epsilon 0, right? What about the potential then? Potential is equal to E into D, correct? So I can write here sigma minus sigma p by epsilon 0 times D. Yes or no? Yes. But see, one more thing is there, a conceptual thing. The sigma p is getting produced, or we are getting a general polarization of the dielectric because of the applied electric field which is in between this. Suppose this is, I am taking E0, okay, and here also we are getting EP, polarization electric field, right? Sigma p is just because of the applied electric field, and applied electric field is due to the surface charge density of the two plates. Here also the surface charge density is sigma, right? So E0 is because of sigma, and sigma p is because of E0. So indirectly we can say sigma p is proportional to E0, or we can say sigma to net surface charge density sigma minus sigma p is also because of the E0, that is equal to E0. If the strength of electric field is more, then the dielectric polarization will be very fast or will be more. So we can say sigma minus sigma p, that is the net surface charge density on the dielectric, is directly proportional to the applied electric field. Clear? So, or if E0, then E0 is proportional to sigma. So I can write sigma minus sigma p is proportional to sigma, right? Getting my point? So now I can write sigma minus sigma p is equal to k sigma, or sorry, we will take it in other way, that sigma minus sigma p is equal to sigma upon k, where this k is nothing but the dielectric constant. K is known as dielectric constant. Okay, this is also a characteristic of a dielectric medium. So now sigma minus sigma p will be replaced by sigma by k. D by epsilon 0 was already there. Getting my point? Sigma d by epsilon 0 k, this is capital K. Okay, now sigma is nothing but q upon a, right? So I can write it as k epsilon 0. That means sorry, sigma d, yeah, qd upon k epsilon 0 a or k epsilon 0. Okay, this is the thing of the potential. Now what about the capacitance? We want to calculate our capacitance. Capacitance is very simple. We will do it just putting the formula q upon v. Q is nothing but our okay, so let it be q. V is equal to, as we have done here, qd upon a epsilon 0 k or a k epsilon 0, whatever it is. So qd upon a k epsilon 0. So we can write c is equal to a k epsilon 0 by d, or in general we can write epsilon 0 k epsilon 0 a by d. Why I am writing this? Because just mind it, what about this factor epsilon 0 a by d? Epsilon 0 a by d is nothing but our C0. I am writing C0 for the capacitance of parallel plate capacitor without any dielectric medium between them. So that is nothing but epsilon 0 a by d, right? And C having dielectric medium is k times, where k is the dielectric constant. For that thing I can write k is equal to C upon C0. Getting my point? Thus the dielectric constant of a substance is greater than 1, by which the capacitance increases from its vacuum value. Getting my point? So we can always say that k, we have already studied in first chapter the dielectric constant is epsilon upon epsilon 0, where epsilon is the permittivity of any medium and epsilon 0 is the permittivity of free space. Another relation is there, that is k equal to C by C0, where C is the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor when there is vacuum in between the plates, and dielectric between the plates, and C0 is the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor having vacuum between them. Okay, clear? Okay, so we have this much for today's class. This is very easy. We just have to remember two things, that is polarization of dielectric and electric field, relation between electric field and potential. Then capacitance is equal to Q upon V. This much things we can conclude our parallel plate capacitor, just calculating about that. Okay, I hope you all understood. Any doubt we can discuss further. Thank you.